Let us start with the possibility of a UK-US trade deal, and I know you've got some pretty strong views on what this does and does not tell us about the wider trade deal narrative.
Yes, good morning, Anna. I think this is a real negative. And the reason I say that, there's three key parts to that, is that everyone is very focused on trade at the moment. It's the big kind of story. What kind of wins will Trump get out of his aggressive tariffs, his reciprocal tariffs, and looking for, kind of negotiations to get concessions. And if this is the big thing that everyone's hoping for to kind of boost markets around, they're going to be extremely disappointed. Why? Well, this deal has been officially negotiated for 5 years now. It started under the prior Trump administration. There's been lots of optimism. And so this is a deal that's nothing to do with reciprocal tariffs. In fact, at the end of February, 5 weeks before those reciprocal tariffs, Trump was already promising this deal was likely to come through very soon. It would be a terrific deal, he said at the time. So this has nothing to do with reciprocal tariffs and is not a win for the latest round of policy. On top of that, this is a country which the US has a trade surplus with. So it's not even one of the trade balance stories it's trying to solve. And it's a relatively small trading partner for the US. So this is not a win in any regard for the current administration's trade policies. And because the market is betting a lot on the fact that either Trump will get some big wins or that there'll be a major kind of rowing back on tariffs, one of those two outcomes is what the market is betting on. Right now, this is going to sorely disappoint those expectations.
So where do we go from here? What does the market now need to keep momentum? The Fed did nothing. The earnings story is fairly mixed. And to be honest, we're talking to a lot of CEOs that are basically just telling us we don't know. What is the next catalyst that you see, Mark, if it's not this trade deal announcement today?
Do you know what? What I'm worried about, and this is, I should preface this with this is quite speculative because we've nothing concrete. I am worried about what the next. If you've got a bearish stance, I should say worried, not worried in terms of the outcomes for markets. But if you're a bearish person now and you're negative, as I am, I've kind of returned to the proactively bearish side this week. I wonder what that sovereign wealth fund announcement might do out of the US. That's that kind of tail risk that I can't predict. I don't feel like it is a plan that will have a lot of funding to make a material difference, but the headline risk might be quite notable. So I am worried if you get some kind of announcement that there's a sovereign wealth fund that's going to buy a load of US stocks, for example, with some really grandiose numbers pronounced, even if they don't come to fruition, that is something that might really squeeze the market next. But I can't actually see a real solid, sustainable driver for higher levels in the stock market, just news headlines.
Mark, very quickly, at what point does Jay Powell need to start thinking more seriously about widespread layoffs? How quick is the Fed's reaction function?
I think they will swivel super quickly when the labour market really starts cracking. There's no real signs of that yet. I mean, we can get marginal weakness. That's not the problem. As I said yesterday, I think the Fed will maintain that they're going to be on hold, and then suddenly they're going to swivel and cut really aggressively. When will that point come? Probably sometime in the summer.